Hello, namaste, and welcome to Agile Exploration Hub. I am your host Nagesh Deshpande. You studied the Scrum, you cleared the certifications, still interviewers reject you. In this episode, we are going to discuss with Gaurav, who is the Agile Project Manager, explains us why Scrum Master interview fails, candidate, and what interviewers actually expect in the answer. So, if you want a practical, real world interview clarity, this episode will help you. So today's topic is why Scrum Master interviews reject you. So watch till the end, like the video, subscribe to my channel, comment your thoughts on the video. So without wasting much time, let's welcome Gaurav. Hi Gaurav,
Hi Rakesh, thanks for inviting me again.
how are you, sir?
All good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, doing well. Yes, sir. So the see, Gaurav, like it's been a while now that I'm a Scrum Master,
Mhm.
and since last more than 10 years now, more than a decade, I'm mentoring people.
Mhm.
I talk with a lot of people and all that. And often people comes to me and say that Nagesh, you gave a lot of interviews and I don't know, I gave all the answers correctly, but they rejected me.
All
Okay.
right,
So that's why this episode came into my mind. Let's have a discussion. Let's understand where are the people making mistakes, or even if they are giving the correct answer, what actually the interviewer is expecting from them. That's what we try to discuss today. Okay.
sure.
So let's get on with the discussion. So why do certified Scrum Masters still fail in the interview? What do you think?
Okay. So, I've been interviewing lots of candidates, not in recent past, but from quite some time, like around 6 to 8 years now.
Right.
And whenever I want to interview someone, what I always look is towards the real-time example that they can quote. I never ask for their organization or project name,
Mm,
but they can create their own pseudo organization and project. But they can tell me what are the real life situations that they've faced, they have how they have collaborated with the other teams. But having said that, what it means, they just think that few of the candidates just thinks that if the Scrum Master job is just to take the updates, daily Scrum, do help the team to backlog refine, size the stories, do the sprint planning reviews. That's it.
that's it. Yeah.
Wherever, like when I'm asking someone to really come as a Scrum Master, I always expect him to look after what the risks are.
Right.
Like, because I will not be able to 100% dedicate my time to that project. I would expect my Scrum Master to go and talk to the people, understand what their risk challenges are. If they have risk, he can he can like write it down, or he can just ping me up that, well, these are the risks that are coming up,
Right.
and we support, like the team needs support, and I'm always there to support them. But when you ask the candidate what is a risk register,
Mm,
completely blank. They don't know how to document the risk, how to mitigate that risk.
right.
You're not asking like if you have 10 year experience, I would expect you to actually document the risk properly. It's just a plain one line. Person is not available.
Mm,
That's not a risk. When you call it as a risk, there is something that goes and that can impact the project in a meaningful way.
right.
In one of the interview, I casually asked, okay, what is a scope creep? And that candidate just give me a answer of all the word, but what is the essence of scope creep? He was not able to tell me.
Mm,
Yeah. So these things makes me feel like whether hiring a right candidate, or it's just like you have done the certification, you just want to go and explore the market.
right.
So what my always suggestion is to look why you want to go for Scrum Master role.
Absolutely.
It's not that there's a market need, that's why you want to go. I understand that you want to change your career from A to B, but you need to also understand that the other person who is interviewing you has also gone through that life cycle.
Right.
He has seen those changes from technical background transition to BA or say tech lead, test lead, then to a scrum master, then to a project manager, then to a program managers, and and beyond that as well. So they know when you are really trying to fake up.
Right.
So these are few of the challenges I can really talk about more, but let's
Yeah, we can talk a lot. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So you rightly mentioned some of the things. You should understand, the purpose of a Scrum Master. If market needs it, market need thousands of Scrum Master. But are you going to solve the business problems? That's the thing that you have to answer yourself, not to the interviewer. Yes,
true.
I'm going to solve your business problem. Then only the interviewer will like your answers. Otherwise, if you are just following the process and trying to implement Agile or install Agile Scrum, it's not going to work. Okay. So that's the crux out of it. And uh, what are some of the answers? They sound correct, but interviewers doesn't like it.
Okay. So I'll give an example in recent cases which has happened with me as well. That when I asked the Scrum Master, okay, you had a scenario wherein you have a conflict within your team. So there is a classic example that everyone gives. Okay, there is a senior guy who was
No,
working on waterfall,
right?
and there's a new guy who is new to the organization. He came in, he was just working with the tech lead. Tech lead is in the mindset of waterfall. He don't want to give anything to the particular new guy. Then I coached him. This is how I negotiated. So I understand this. This is a predominant problem in all the organizations,
Mhm.
but this cannot be the always an answer for that particular question. Think beyond something else. Negotiation doesn't mean only you are just asking a senior guy to just lower his own ways of working towards agile and all works magically. Negotiation means communication as well. How you're communicating with the team, what what has brought that team to synchronize with you,
Hmm.
that also becomes a part of negotiation, right? If you just grow like giving the plain answer like this, although it is genuine problem, but it doesn't give me confidence. Okay, what other thing you have done? If you
Right,
ask them a different example, they were like, okay, this is a similar example that I have, but I will be expecting more. Like, what is the ground level problem that you're trying to solve or you have solved in the recent past? That will really help me to understand, okay, do you have that capability? If I place you that in different project, you would be able to really understand and mitigate those things. Because like in these scenarios, what happens in this fast moving world, you have multiple projects, they're short lived.
right.
You are not working with the same set of people every single time. You will be deputated in a different teams, and they all are different people. Everyone has their own level of acumen. Everyone knows, have their own ways of working.
Hmm.
Then your negotiation skill comes into play. How you can really mend either them or your ways of working so that the project goes to the succession.
Right.
But what happens? They're pretty adamant. No, if you have four ceremonies, we have to follow 400%. That's fine. You follow all four. But look, when you have to modulate your tone and how you have to modulate it. If you modulate your tone towards high pitch every single time, the other person is not going to take it because he's also there for earning the respect in the organization.
Right.
So that's my view.
No, no, that's absolutely right. I agree with you in some terms. Yeah. So the point is like, to addition to what you said, there are people who have the fixed set of answers. So I'll share a few of my experiences where I asked a person that how does your day look like as a Scrum Master? That's a
Hmm.
basic standard question that every interview will ask. And this guy started with saying that the first thing that I go and I looked at is the dashboard, and then I take some notes from the dashboards, and then I go to the daily scrum, and then blah 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 and all that. And he said everything. So I said, okay, you mentioned about dashboard. Tell me what exactly the things that you're looking at a dashboard. So he said that, no, sir, there is a dashboard that I built it and then I looked at it and I takes the notice. This was his answer. I
Hmm.
said, okay, you built it. I trust you. Okay, you built it. But what exactly do you looked at it? What is the outcome of that dashboard that you are looking at? No, no, sir, I am expert in Jira. I know how to create the dashboard and I looked at it, the dashboard. I said, okay, no, no, no. Tell me the answer exactly what I'm looking for. What do you looking for? You know, you taking notes from the dashboard. What notes? You know, he was trying to convince me that he knows the Jira dashboard, but he was not able to convince me what exactly is looking at the dashboard. So, if you are a Scrum Master and if you want to convince an interviewer in the dashboard, tell them, I look all the P1 or P2 issues. I looked at the delayed stories. I looked at the on the dashboard. I looked at the dependent stories. I looked at where the stories are nearby to completion, newly logged defects, maybe something like that. You tell them. With these notes, I go to daily Scrum. I ask these questions on specific story to the team. That would have convinced me a lot. Here, the person is just trying to tell me that he knows the dashboard, how to create it, how to look at it, but don't know what exactly the data showing it.
True. And the
So
dashboard are always insights and
insights,
action driven.
right,
If, if you are like, there's a very simple thing that is missing, which is action driven dashboard.
right,
What are the actions that you can define in the course of your interviews? No one is debating on that, but the word, the choice of word is really important.
right.
As soon as we say that it's an action driven, the next question, what actions?
What actions?
It will start bringing the story in, and you can really make your interview like more engaging with you. And with that thing, he will also get a confidence. Okay, you know certain things, and no interviewer in this world is asking or expecting everything 100% or sacrosanct.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
Even if you're at 50%, 60%, that is also good enough for certain organization. Even for me, I have seen people who just like 30, 40%. He just knows the basic scrum, but he's willing to understand, willing to learn.
right.
He has courage to say, okay, Gaurav, I don't know these things, but I'm willing to learn. You let me know how to learn. I learn it. Attitude
Abs-
matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'll share my experience. When I gave an interview, I was giving interview, and this interview was taken by a person in USA.
Mhm.
Okay, and that person was expecting me to know all different type of reports,
Mhm.
but I was confidently explaining only two uh, reports to that person. Only two. One is burn down chart and one is velocity. Committed versus completed. Okay. At one point of time, I told that person, see, in my organization, I'm only following these two reports right now, and this is what we are looked at. Okay. So, and I explain all the nitty-gritty or all the details of both the reports to that interview. Believe me, I got hired because if I would have tried to explain something which is I am not aware, I'm not doing. So she was expecting the interview was the lady. She was expecting me to know the control charts and all that. Then the lead time, cycle time. At that time, I was not aware of it. I would have made mistakes by explaining it incorrectly. So I stopped myself saying that, okay, I know only these things. Being in that interview with a fixed mindset that I only know these things gives her a confidence with me that, okay, whatever he knows, he knows. And if he doesn't know, he's saying, I don't know. So my answer was pretty straightforward. And she gave me this feedback after 3 months. After joining, I worked with her and I enjoy working with her. And after 3 months, she told me, Rakesh, do you really want to know why I hired you? The answer about the reports that you gave me, I was very confident that if whichever reports that we are using here, you will learn those, you will implement those, you will understand those. And that's what you are doing today. So this is how you have to communicate your answers in the interview.
True. And
Right.
that also coordinates with your one of the agile principles which says courage to say no.
No, yes.
If you have courage to say no, that means you're not fooling around with the people that okay, you know XYZ and you are just pure pack, whatever Agile manifesto says, you are 100% through. No one will be like that. We expect that everyone should be, but no one is like that. But at a given point in time, you should also understand when and how to say no.
Yes. Yeah. So let's fast track now. You bought the topic of theory, Scrum, and Agile manifesto and principles. So let's discuss about something little bit about Scrum theory. What do hiring managers actually taste beyond the Scrum theory? I know the theory, but what exactly I'm looking for?
See, if I'm a hiring manager, Scrum is one thing that you know you want to draw, like run all your four ceremonies, cycles, and that is fine. What I always look for how your attitude towards other people are, how you're trying to treat me as an individual, and how you what are the example that you are given, are those showing me empathy towards the team members, right? The other things are like when we talk about reports, what kind of reports you are talking about. If you even if you tell me about one report, I'm fine with it. But I have seen people just going through with a laundry list. It doesn't give me a confidence. You may
Mm,
be implementing that, you may be doing it. But what you need to do is that, okay, these are the two reports, as you might rightly said. You need to be really confident about those reports.
absolutely. Mm,
Because I have my own perception to interpret those reports. And if I start asking questions and if you're fumbling on them, that means there is some fundamental gaps. The third thing is communication,
mm,
which has to be very, very clear when you're really portraying in front of others what message you are trying to convey. Fourth thing, the risk. In today's world, risks are very important because in AI world, right, the coding has become tremendously different what we were doing 10 years back.
right,
Today, everyone is using Copilot. If you're not using Copilot for your coding, or if you're not using any other AI tools for coding per se, you are you are just restricting yourself in some other way. And what I always expect from a Scrum Master is that he is trying to bring that culture in the team that I'm not asking Scrum Master to do the coding, but he need to influence people to start using AI
right,
because he is the single point in contact for me to go for the team, and they are the bridge to me. They they are they are discussing him with him day in day out, right? Other thing are like when you talk about the Scrum Master, I always look after some certain repos that he can share with me, like what was the commitment and what was
mm,
not.
right,
And if you're faking that up with me, then it's a big no-no for me. I'm okay for 70%, I'm okay for 80%, I'm okay for 90%. If you're showing me that I'm hitting always 90%, 80, 100% in every single sprint, then there's for other fundamental issue that either team is just boiling up the story points,
right,
or they don't know how to size it, and Scrum Master not able to groom them. The other thing which I always look for is the so motto. When there's a conflict, do not stretch. Just ask the team stop. If the Scrum Master is able to do that, that means we are not boiling the conflicts.
right,
The moment you draw that line, you are just de-risking certain other things. Come to a meeting room, discuss in length, that can help. So these are the few things like when you talk about those things in the interviews, that gives me a feel okay, this is the right candidate really to go for.
mm,
Because everyone can go in the 2 days long session, write the Scrum Master examination, get the certification. That doesn't mean that you are highly qualified for the Scrum Master.
absolutely, yes.
You
Mm,
need to practice with yourself. Even okay, another thing. Even if, okay, I understand that you're not able to get your role as a Scrum Master in near future. Start practicing by yourself in your particular project that and observe how the other person is doing and what
Right.
thing you can bring in and how you can help the Scrum Master. Okay, these are the things that you were doing, and this is what I would have done, right? Bring the perception in. That may help.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. Great. Great. Now, we already did discussed about little bit of conflict related questions. We often ask like, how did you resolve the conflict? But how should a candidate actually answer? You also give the little insight, but just give me a small, quick answer on that.
Okay, so conflict, when and how the conflict happens,
Hmm.
understand that thing. Write down 2 or 3 points. These are the point of conflicts between that conversation. See, and thereafter, what could be the course of action?
Right.
If you have these two things, what are the conflict points in the course of action? You can easily resolve the conflicts. Conflicts is not only between seniors and juniors, it's
Absolutely.
between the same role as well. It is between developers and testers as well. I have seen n number of conflicts where the developer says that this is not a bug and tester says it's 100% a bug. And the program manager or a project manager has to intervene and say that, guys, hang on, stay aside, look at the requirement, which is very simple to say, look at the requirement. Does it meet the requirement? Yes or no? Does it meet the acceptance criteria? Yes or no? Just ask simple question and you will see the tone which is at very high pitch will start going down because now
Right.
you're asking the right questions. This is how you just focus on those things and your conflicts will be resolved pretty quickly.
Right. And again, remember, guys, conflicts not always will be with the people. Means conflict cannot be just you always assume that conflict are between two-person. No, it's not always. There identify there are other conflicts. So I'll give an example, my own example. I was a scrum master for a team, and we faced a production issue. My team immediately picked it up. We create a release. We immediately developed, tested it, and then my team went to DevOps team. However, the DevOps engineer said to my team that it will be done only after 2 days because we are having one very, very crucial release going on right now. We are in the middle of. We said, no, that is not going to, that's very difficult. We have already have all the communication. The DevOps, the engineering manager agreed on that. That's why we picked it up. Okay. Now, the problem is not individual. He was willing to help. He was there with us. Engineering manager was also agreed. Everything was aligned. Only the timeline was the conflict. Yeah. So then all the engineering managers and everything they came up. They had a meeting. I was there. I was listening because it was highly technical discussion. I was not, to be honest. I'll give you very very honest answer. Okay. And then they had an agreement that whatever the current release DevOps team is doing, we will patch it in that release only. It will go. Okay. And it took us like 3 to 4 hours to resolve these things. And it was not, I am not going to take even 1% credit of it, but the efforts of all the engineering managers, DevOps engineering manager, test engineering manager, all of them were there. So point is, this was a conflict. It's conflicting situation. The idea was to bring everyone together, understand the challenges and on our hand, what are we trying to resolve here, everything can and possibilities, how can we resolve these things. Best possible thing was at that time, whatever the best possible thing was there, we did it. So here is another example of conflict resolution, not just the people. Okay, so think up again, where are there are conflicts. Okay, moving on. What mistakes reduce the confidence during the scrum master interview?
Uh, One is like not letting the interviewer talk at all.
Absolutely.
For an example, I gave an example like I just asked him, I read your resume, so you don't have to tell me what you have done so far.
Hmm.
Just let me know how you implemented or what all things you're doing in your day-to-day life to ensure that the principles are being followed. That guy started right from the scratch, like my name is this, my education is this. Man, I already told you I don't need those information. That your CV already spoke. And since I had that CV, that means I know what you're talking about, right? One is that. Second is not relating your answers or backing your answer with your real time scenarios.
Absolutely. Yes.
Do not mug up that okay, I go on Google, just type, okay, give me 10 top 10 questions. Okay, these are the top 10 questions. They you put in the Copilot, they give the example as well. Do
Right.
not mug up. Because other person is also experienced person, that's why he's saying that. Yeah. Thereafter, when during your interviews for the Scrum Master, people always look out for what kind of reports you are working on.
Hmm.
Prepare 3 or 4 reports thoroughly, not more than that. Just discuss and talk about that only.
Right.
Velocity is something which is like old ages now. If you ask me really, because that was something that was in 2015-16. We always focus on velocity.
Velocity
And
only. Yeah.
move away from that. Like it may be possible that I'm at 50% velocity, but I'm delivering more value than 100% velocity. So talk about the commitments that these are the P1, P and P2. We completed those P1, P2. We have left P3, P4. I'm like as a project manager, I'm fine with that because the main priorities are done. The lower hanging fruits can be done at any given point in time during the other course of sprints. Yeah. Although I'm going beyond agile, what it says that you have to commit whatever you commit, you have to deliver that.
Yes.
But end of the day, everyone is human. You cannot really
Yes.
force that,
Absolutely.
right?
Then, hmm.
Then again, communication. Keep communicating with your program managers, project managers that these are the things that I've seen and I need support. Always ask for support or help
Support. Yes. Yeah.
whenever it's needed. So these are few things that I always call out.
Absolutely. Well said. Yeah. I'll add few things here. Okay. So what the confidence when I'm checking of the answers from the person. One key mistakes that all the new recent Scrum Masters are doing in their CV is they try to improve the ATS score. Yes. To improve that ATS score, one of the candidate wrote that he has implemented agile best practices which has reduced the spillover by 15%. Okay, that's fine. My question was simple. Tell me three or five agile best practices that you know.
It doesn't like
Silent.
yeah.
It was so don't fall for that things, guys. If you are writing a number in your CV that I am reduce this by 15%, increase that by 50% and all that, you should have very, very strong, very, very real strong, data behind that, not answer. You need a data. I will
True.
check the data. As an interviewer, I'll check the data. What data? What exactly? What are the best practices? Yeah. So that's how you should do it. So if someone is writing those number percentage into your CV, unable to answer, I stop my interview. I do not I do not go beyond that. Okay, I'm very strict interviewer, but at the same time, if the candidate putting efforts, taking genuine, efforts, I do hire them. Okay, so let's move on.
There's only one point that I also want to call out.
Sure, sure. Hmm.
In many of the resume, I've seen people just putting bold in every single line to ensure
Right.
that I should always look for that keyword.
Hmm.
That's another mistake that I just ask people do not do it. The reason being, as an interviewer, I have to read every single line that you've written in the resume, not only the bold words. And by putting bold words, you may increase your score, or I don't know how it ATS really find that particular thing, but it give me a bit of fear that are you just trying to like make me biased with that bold word? And That always creates a conflict when I'm going for an interview for that particular person, that are you the right guy? And again, like, then we have to put our wisdom to see how he's performing then.
Right. Good. Then let's talk about leadership. So leadership, you do not require the designation or promotion or something. You can be a leader. Even as a Scrum Master, even as a lead developer or a developer, also you can lead. But now, how can a candidate show up leadership skills without sounding textbook?
That's a tricky one. And what I can say is that how you're handling the different scenarios.
Right.
For example, like as you quoted one of the example in your recent or
Hmm.
in your career, that you have to make a release, right? You should have a power of convincing others that why it is important.
Absolutely.
You, if you are able to communicate that with 10 different people, it is showing that you have some leadership qualities, right? Other thing is like when you're going for the sprint commitments, right? As a Scrum Master, I have seen people who is looking only for all P1 to be taken into the consideration. Say if you have 10 story point capacity, you're taking all 10 into sprint, which is P1. Let's not do that. Try taking only 6 or 7, which is P1, and then let's try reducing the points for others and see how you can put up the sprints. The tech leads may not agree, right? There, you need to convince them why it is really important, because spillover can happen at given point in time.
Right.
You need to really make them understand, right? The other thing is managing risk,
Hmm.
communicating with others, right? Then the how to treat diversity e- and equality in a same ratio.
Absolutely.
You cannot really compare diversity and equality with some gender bias or anything. When you are trying to lead a team, do not look for the biasness. Be always as unbiased. I understand that in this world no one can be unbiased all the time.
Hmm.
When you are going for certain discussions, which can be a very difficult conversations to have, try as much unbiased as much you can.
Yeah. Be neutral. Hmm.
Be neutral. And I understand that you will find it very difficult to be neutral.
Hmm.
In that case, try to write certain points that these are the good things, these are the bad things, or these are areas of improvement that can be happen. When you write that, you are making yourself unbiased. Now you are thinking what are his good attributes. Earlier you were biased that that person is really bad. But when you start writing those things, you are writing them down what is good in that person. Now you see you are changing your ways of thinking about that single person. Okay, till 5 minutes back, it is very bad. Now at least you find two good things in that, five bad things. That's an impact. Use the power of negotiation. We
Negotiation.
always call about the barter system, right? Give and take. You have to give something to take something. You do not shy away in sharing your example, sharing your experiences with others. That's how your knowledge will also increase. Because once you start sharing your examples or your experience with others, they will also be comfortable in sharing their experiences with you.
Right.
Do not think that okay, I am the only receiver.
Hmm.
Everyone has to be the receiver. This is how you can build up your leadership skills. So like it is not that today I gave you a promotion for a senior manager, you will start performing like a senior manager from the day one itself.
No. Hmm. Hmm.
You will be groomed for it.
Right.
Your leadership team will groom for it, but you need to understand certain thing that why you are chosen, because you are showing certain signs of leadership. That's why you are chosen.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one more thing that I want to add to what Gaurav has said. So let's take a situation. There is a situation, and an entire team is there, and you're trying to solve a problem. Instead of giving teams multiple solutions, politely, very natural, in natural tone, ask one of the team member what you would have done to solve this problem, and listen it to thoroughly. Do not stop that person when he or she is talking. Understand? So by doing this, you will gain the confidence of team that yes, my Scrum Master is asking for solutions from us also. Okay. And if the situation or the solution is really worth it, or going to work, you feel that it will work, go ahead and implement it. If it worked, give the entire credit to the person who has implemented it. If it doesn't work, put it as a learning and say what better solution we can do. This will show your leadership skills. This will show you as you're trying to gain the confidence of your team. So these are some of the tips. Okay. Moving on towards the last question. What exact structure makes answers strong and practical? Any structure is there?
Uh, okay, so in my experience, how I do is that I go with a very theoretical thing, then
Right,
start relating the theory with my real-time examples,
right.
right? Why both are important? Because as an interviewer, I'll get to know, okay, the basic principles, what is there and in the book. You know at least that.
Right.
And when you are correlating with your real-time examples, it is giving me confidence that you have seen this scenario and you have implemented it in this certain way.
Hmm.
So if you ask me structure, so always go with an examples.
Hmm.
If you don't know certain things, please ask the interviewer. You don't know about
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, say it, don't
I
know.
will
Yes.
learn about it, but you want to pass on this question. And interviewer will be very happy to know that you are passing that question without any.
Absolutely. Don't
Yes.
try to answer all the questions.
Yes.
Yes. Another structure that I would like to share today with my audience is STAR method. So STAR is like something, a situation. T is for task, action, and results. So STAR is an abbreviation of situation, task, action, and result. So whenever you're trying to answer something, create a situation. What was the task that you created from that situation? What are the actions that you perform? And what was the result? And always result cannot be a positive result, can be failure also. Failure is a turning into a learning. So that's pretty much for today, guys. Gaurav, it was pleasure talking to you. It was very wonderful discussion. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for being such a wonderful speaker today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nagesh.
Thank you also. If you really enjoyed this discussion, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and bye bye. See you in the next video. Bye.